that 3 days ago, my father had passed away in South Africa. All the brothers are requested to make dua for him. Alhamdulillah, throughout his life, he strove for deen. He never kept dunya as his priority. Always he was assisting the ulama, always helping the scholars of deen. And perhaps that was the reason that why he put us in madrasa as well. He made sure that we also got the knowledge. We are 5 brothers from there. 4 of us are, alhamdulillah, we've studied the entire alim course. And one of our brothers is Hafiz of the Quran. So continuously he was always in the effort of deen, and alhamdulillah his last moments was also in making effort of performing his Maghrib Salah. He wasn't feeling well. Last Monday he was here for 6 months in UK. Wednesday he flew back. Thursday he reached South Africa. Friday he met everyone. Saturday he met everyone. Sunday he had a bit of vomiting. Then Monday evening he was doing iqama for the Maghrib Salah. He told my brother, let's do Jamaat in the house. You stand in front, I'll do iqama. So while sitting on the chair, he was doing iqama. He said Allahu Akbar 4 times and then he collapsed. Yeah. So my brother didn't know what was going on, but that was the time he had his heart attack basically. Afterwards he gained his consciousness little bit. He said, these are my last moments, make me recite the kalima. My brother said, no, don't worry, we're going to the hospital. So he recited the kalima himself. And he continued reading until they reached the hospital. When he reached the hospital, he asked everyone for forgiveness, asked my mother, everyone, before he left the house for forgiveness as well. And then he stayed the night in the hospital. 3:30 in the morning, the 3rd attack took place, and then he passed away. Allah Ta'ala grant him and all marhumin forgiveness. Many other incidents happened as well. In Leicester, so many families have lost their near and dear ones. Should make dua for each and every one of them. And from this we learn one thing, that it comes in a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Kama ta'ishuna tamutun. The way you live your life, that is how you will meet your end. And this is a humble appeal, first of all to myself and to everyone else. That my father, I'm saying my father because it happened recently, but all other Muslims that are in the same category, he never ever missed his salah. He made sure, when we were young, we remember, when we were young, 9, 10, 11 years old, and my dad is in the house, we'll never miss our salah. There was no way we could get away with it. He would make sure that we are awake for Fajr, we are there in the masjid for Zohar, we are there for Asr. And sometimes he would, when we come back from the masjid, he would look at our arms, he would see behind our have we done our masa properly? He would see our feet as well, because back in Africa we used to play in the dirt. So he would see, have we actually done wuzu or not? So this was the upbringing. He always worried about it. And his final moments was also preparing for salah. 2 attempts it took him to make wudu. Alhamdulillah, on the 2nd attempt he completed his wudu, and then he sat down to do the iqamah, and then he collapsed. And serving the ulama and the scholars. I'm not saying serve me, I'm not an alim, nor am I regard myself as a scholar, trying to be a student. But the great scholars that are in our community, let us serve them. If we cannot serve them, send our children to them. Our children will be guided. It is mentioned that a person who harbors love for ulama, although we cannot serve them, but you have love for ulama, Allah Ta'ala will bring knowledge and Quran in your progeny. And a person who harbors hatred for ulama, you see people blurting out all sorts of things. Then not only from your life, but even from your progeny's life, blessings will be taken away. He was very close to great ulama. Some of you might have heard of Maulana Abdul Hannan back in India. Back in the 80s and 70s, he used to go around and do bayans, and many thousands of people used to attend. So my father, that time he was young, he spent some time with him in the path of Allah, and thereafter he made such a connection and bond with him. Wherever he needed to go, or to go for a bayan, he would call my father. My father would make sure wherever he is, he's busy somewhere, he would be there with his rickshaw at that time, and he would take him wherever he wanted. Many years later, when my father moved, he went to Saudi, then he came to South Africa. Maulana Abdul Hannan came to visit South Africa. Other people invited him. So my father heard that Abdul Hannan is there. So he went to go and see him. And it was in our Darul Ulum. This my elder brother mentioned yesterday. So when he seen my father asked him, do you recognize who I am? He says, I don't have a good memory, but if I think right, are you Ismail Haji? He said, yes. After 20 years, you've recognized who I am. So he said, I want to give you dawat. He said, there's so many people have invited me, and the people of Darul had called me first, but I'll accept your dawat without any hesitation. But I only eat karela. I don't know what karela in English. Karela is a very bitter, what's it called in English? Till today I've been looking for the dictionary meaning of it. So I only eat karela. My father said, no problem, we'll feed you karela. So my principal, Shabir Saab, and everyone called my father on the side. They said, look, we found Joburg, Durban, Cape Town, we just can't find it. It's short in the market, it's not the season for it. My father said, don't worry, I'll get it from somewhere. He left the Darulum, he phoned one of his friends in Kenya. He says, do you have karela? He said, yeah, we have plenty. He says, please send some. So they done an express cargo. Within one day it was there. Next day on the plate, there was karela and everyone was shocked. He said, where you got it from? He says, first eat, then I'll tell you where I got it from. So this was the desire they had, to fulfill simple desires. So it's a very simple desire, but to serve the ulama. And perhaps that was the reason today Allah Ta'ala has made us what we are. Allah Ta'ala grant him magfirah, jannatul, firdose, and a humble appeal to each and everyone today. After Isha, inshallah, there'll be a Quran recitation. So if you are free, come down after Isha. Isha is 8:30, and there'll be a Quran recitation and dua for all the marhumin. May Allah Ta'ala grant me and one and all the ability. Wa akhiru da'wana.